Hello everyone. Welcome to the Blockchain News Club. We got news here from Fox that is highlighting that Elizabeth Warren colluded with Gary Gensler ahead of a congressional hearing. She sent him the questions that she was going to ask him. Complete corruption here. And these two have been two peas in a pod. We know Elizabeth Warren is a big-time crypto critic and skeptic. She's out there spreading FUD and false narratives. Even when actual facts is presented to her. She puts the FUD out there, and she is in collusion with Gary Gensler, and the fact that she was sending him her questions ahead of time, asking him if he was comfortable with those questions and also agreeing on the answers. Tell me what you're going to say and here's what you should respond, which is absolute corruption. They should be ashamed of themselves. Elizabeth Warren, she's a professional hypocrite. Gary Gensler is a corrupt regulator and he needs to resign and get kicked out of office. They do not represent the United States of America, and I'm going to play the clip here for you on the reporting done by Fox. Listen to this clip.
All right, a bombshell report tonight about how Senator Elizabeth Warren, and her office coordinated testimony with the Security and Exchange Commission ahead of a Senate hearing. The Heritage Foundation Oversight Project, of which I'm associated, through a FOIA request, obtained emails from Warren's office to the office of Chairman Gary Gensler 2 days before his Senate testimony back in September of 2021. The email from Warren's economic policy advisor includes a list of questions. Get this, a list of questions that Senator Warren planned to ask, along with suggested answers for the chairman of the SEC. The advisor also wrote, quote, "Let me know if you're okay with the questions as currently written." 2 days later, she sent a follow-up, quote, "Let me know if it's looking like the chair has any issue with the framing of the questions. Definitely don't want to put him in a tough spot," end quote. And it appears the chairman didn't have any issue with these questions because Senator Warren asked almost verbatim from the email. Check this out.
Chair Gensler, advocates say crypto markets are all about financial inclusion, but the people who are most economically vulnerable are the ones who are most likely to have to withdraw their money the fastest when the market drops. Does this sound like the path to financial inclusion to you?
So there you have it. Isn't that pathetic that she was doing this with Gary Gensler? Sending him softball questions, giving him the answers, and what he should say. I can't believe this is happening. A lot of the folks are part of the financial committee, and they will bring Gary Gensler in for questioning and to hold him accountable. They need to act here. Gary Gensler is not a good regulator. He is clearly politically motivated, and from what we've heard, he wants the Treasury job, and he has not provided the market with clear regulations. He's out there colluding with different members of Congress and has an agenda. He doesn't want to provide clear regulations because he can go around shaking down companies for millions of dollars, and as I said, he's not the cop on the beat. He's the cop on the take, and he's corrupt, and he needs to be kicked out of office. He's trying to slow crypto down, and he's trying to go around shake down these companies for money because he knows many of them don't have the capital to fight the SEC from an ongoing basis. The only one that is able to do that is Ripple, and they have a huge treasure chest of capital. We've talked about the Ripple lawsuit. I believe Ripple is going to win. I believe XRP is going to be declared a non-security and relisted on exchanges. And Gary's going to take a big loss there. Gary Gensler is a complete failure. Gary Gensler, the head of the SEC, says there are 3 ways to figure out if a crypto project is a scam. Gensler and SEC Commissioner Caroline Crenshaw talked to the U.S. Army about the risks of investing in crypto during a Twitter Spaces earlier this month. They also talked about how to tell if a project is a scam. Sometimes things that look too good to be true are, Gensler said. Besides being too good to be true, there are other warning signs you can look for. In general, Gensler came up with 3 ways to tell if something is a scam. The crypto project can't provide clear documentation about how it works or how it plans to reach its goals. It also can't show that it's in compliance with regulations, and it can't easily explain what it is. Gensler also said that offers of high returns are a red flag, and he warned against projects that are too complicated or that try to rush the investor into making a decision by playing on FOMO, or the fear of missing out. Gensler painted a bleak picture of the future of the crypto industry by telling the crowd that most of the 15,000 or so tokens that are currently on the market will fail. It's important to know that cryptography is new and uncertain, said Commissioner Crenshaw. Investors aren't as safe as they could be because most of them have chosen not to be governed by the SEC. During the Twitter Spaces, Commissioner Crenshaw said, The bottom line is that there is more risk when you invest in these new, speculative, risky investments that lack basic protections and rules. So, if you want to invest in crypto, think about how much of your portfolio you want to put into it, and don't put more into it than you can afford to lose. You can listen to the full conversation on Twitter Spaces. I will leave a link to it in the description. Gary Gensler and Elizabeth Warren have always gotten along well. We all know that Elizabeth Warren is a very big critic and skeptic of crypto. Together, these two are putting out FUD in the crypto market. Representative James French Hill, chair of a newly formed House Financial Services Subcommittee, which seeks to set new rules for the crypto industry, was interviewed by Joe Squawk. Joe Squawk asks French Hill, "You can't tell the SEC what to do. As long as Gary Gensler is there, do you see any progress being made?" Listen to this, folks.
Blockchain right now is an emerging technology. There are industries all over our country that are looking at how can blockchain or a distributed ledger be useful in their business to cut down on agency costs. And those don't always have to be completely disruptive. They might be more gradual as that innovation takes place. I mean, right now, for example, I love the comment the other day where somebody said a transaction using Bitcoin takes so long my coffee is cold. So this is not right now a technology that's ready for prime time in a real-time payments industry, but we want to make sure that America is the place for innovation in fintech, and blockchain and distributed ledger technology is part of that fintech future.
Well, it has real consequences to not have a framework in place, and you know, I'm not saying that Sam Bankman-Fried didn't bring it on himself, but we certainly enabled some of that to be offshore, and I mean, it's going to help. It's going to help the industry, and it's going to help the technology if Congress could get its act together. Do you think there should be a spot Bitcoin fund? That's not going anywhere now either.
Yeah, so that's what we want to explore with this Digital Assets Committee. I think you'll see us look at a privacy law, a federal privacy law. I think you'll see us consider a stablecoin bill that we made progress on in the last Congress with work from our leader, Patrick McHenry, on the committee, and then Chair Maxine Waters. I think you'll see us explore what are the ramifications for the securities market, and work with the Agriculture Committee in the House and Senate on the commodity aspect of it, trading the coins and running, how should the exchanges be overseen. All that's on the table, and all that's going to be a priority for this year.
You think it's going to be this year, and you think it can be bipartisan when it's all said and done? That would take I don't know, that we're not there right now.
Hey, I specialize in bipartisan. This is an area that's important for our country. We need this regulatory framework, and we need to come together to have it, or we're going to have continued chaos that we saw last year with a string of bankruptcies across the industry. That's not helpful to developers, to the industry, to innovation, and certainly not to investors and consumers.
You can't really tell the SEC what to do, can you? I mean, that's going to be as long as Gary Gensler's there, do you see any progress really being made?
Well, Chair Gensler says he was the cop on the beat last year. Gary Gensler also says that he's an expert in this area because he taught it in graduate school, blockchain and distributed ledger technology. So we'll invite him up to Congress to tell us what he knows and what he recommends in this area and what he was doing last year when we had so many challenges for our investors and our consumers.
It's becoming more and more evident that the Congress is getting tired of Gary Gensler, and we could see the SEC chairman stepping down soon. This will be good for the whole U.S. crypto industry. Moving on, we do have some exciting news on XRP tokens transferred by whales. Whales have moved 322 million XRP tokens in the last 24 hours. Is this the end of the case between Ripple and the SEC? The Ripple versus SEC lawsuit is almost over, and there is a chance that a summary judgment will be made. Since then, the addresses with a lot of tokens have started working again. This could be a good sign that a rally is coming, and the whales may have already figured it out. But is it because the case is coming to an end? The whales seem to be getting ready for a big move, since they just moved 35 million XRP worth $15 million, which is the most they've ever done. Also, over the next few hours, the whales moved an extra 36 million XRP worth almost $15 million. Both of these transactions were made from an unknown wallet to Bitstamp, which is interesting. But in the last 24 hours, the whales have been doing a lot more by constantly moving XRP from their wallet to the exchanges. Whale Alert says that the whales are always moving tokens from their wallets to either the Bitso or Bitstamp exchanges. A few moments ago, the movement of nearly 160 million XRP tokens was recorded as the largest whale movement. The huge transfers do raise serious questions about whether the whales know key information that the rest of the market participants don't. As a whole, the whale activity looks suspicious because it is getting stronger before the January 30th hearing of the lawsuit between LBRY and the SEC. Also, now that the SEC hasn't been able to prove that XRP is a security, whales may think that this could make the price rise even more and reach new highs. In another recent development, I came across this one. Canadian merchants are accepting BTC payments on XRP Ledger. Spend the Bits is adding Canadian merchants to its first pilot test who want to accept Bitcoin payments through the XRP Ledger. Yesterday, the platform tweeted about this and asked interested business owners to get in touch to find out how to get started. Spend the Bits is a cryptocurrency app that uses the XRP Ledger to make it easier and cheaper for users to store and spend their Bitcoin. XRP community members have praised it as a better solution than Bitcoin's Lightning Network. Notably, the Lightning Network doesn't solve all of Bitcoin's problems with scaling. For one, users still have to fund the off-chain solution with an on-chain transaction before they can use it. This takes a long time and has costs, which makes it a frustrating solution for first-time users. Even though it's not clear that Spend the Bits completely fixes this problem, the app adds Bitcoin to the user's balance after the first confirmation, making it faster to fund at least. The platform says that Spend the Bits transactions take between 3 and 5 seconds. Notably, it works by putting Bitcoin on the XRPL as a promise to pay. In response, attorney John Deaton praised the app as a great example of how crypto can be used. In the SEC case, it is important to note that Spend the Bits filed a brief in favor of Ripple. The company showed that the SEC was wrong when it said that investors couldn't find ways to use XRP without Ripple's help. It was reported last November that it won Ripple's CBDC interoperability hackathon. Spend the Bits is only available in Canada right now. But, according to the company's Twitter bio, it plans to grow to El Salvador soon. In the current situation, where a lot of corruption in the SEC coming to light on the one hand and Ripple expanding its business and partners on the other, I believe the SEC is losing its hold. The whales seem to be getting ready for a big move, and Ripple is all set to win the lawsuit against the SEC. We could see the price of XRP breaking its all-time high of $3.40 very soon. It's just a matter of weeks before we see the XRP price explode and reach new highs. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe for regular updates in the blockchain community.